Well, on this beautiful day, I'm out here at the Sylvania PCC Campus College, and I am here with Melissa. Now, Melissa, first of all, before we jump into why we're here, tell me what it is you do.
So I'm a registered horticultural therapist. I'm the instructor of the Therapeutic Horticulture Activity Specialist courses here at PCC.
And this is kind of it's been planned for a while. It's been in thought process, but this is a new thing that's happening here. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so we're in the new space that is going to be the Therapeutic Learning Garden, the TLG. And this space will be transformed into a working classroom where horticultural therapy students can come and practice learning more about therapeutic gardens, working with houseplants in the greenhouse,
nice.
Learning more about the elements of therapeutic gardens, and taking the work that they're learning in the classroom and getting hands-on.
So, we've done a lot of stories with therapy gardens with Teresa Hazen from Legacy Systems, and this is really a wonderful connection in that sense, isn't it? That this is where they can actually come get educated, they get degrees in it. I mean, this really is a great follow-through for education on it.
Yes, so it's a 6-series program, 6 series in the class program, and they can come here and start their activity director's certificate or become horticultural therapy student, and then take what they've learned on to the community settings and work in senior living, hospital settings, educational settings, adult foster homes.
So Melissa, you've actually worked with and through Legacy Systems Healing Gardens, haven't you?
Yes, so I got my horticultural therapy registration and certificate through Legacy Health System.
Nice.
I finished in 2004 and have been practicing as an HTR since then. So I work in inpatient psychiatric at Unity Center for Behavioral Health. I was also a contractor in all the healing gardens at Legacy for 18 years.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm very familiar with how therapeutic gardens work and operate and how they're constructed and designed.
So it really is promoting, from my perspective, it is of course promoting nature and gardens, but it's also promoting the education of how that can help all kinds of people.
Oh yes, yes. Everyone can benefit here on campus. So students, staff, anyone taking the courses. Yeah,
and
the community can come here and enjoy this space
so
as well.
It's open to the public too, it's not just some closed campus thing.
Yep, it'll be open to all the surrounding community, all of Portland. We hope it will be a destination for people to come and visit.
Wonderful.
Once it's done.
And because every garden that is beautiful and works well has a wonderful designer, I'm going to take a walk over someplace else and meet Brian and talk about his way of coming up with this wonderful garden design. Melissa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, I've moseyed over here to Brian, you are technically really a landscape architect, aren't you?
Yeah, correct. I'm a landscape architect.
So give me a little of your concepts of how you go into making a therapeutic type healing garden space. Tell me about that.
Sure. Well, in all the healing garden, therapy garden designs that we do, it really starts first from a collaboration between the people who are going to be utilizing the garden, the people who are going to be working in the garden, and myself. So it's really a collaborative design process. It's not me coming in and saying, this is the garden you should build. It's listening to how they're going to use it. So here at PCC, where they're really trying to create a garden that's a learning lab for all of the students, both in the horticultural therapy program here and the rest of the programs that PC operates, figuring out what they want to do with their students in the garden and how we can then facilitate that happening through the design.
Right, and I would suspect that could be a very difficult process, because you're not just looking at one family who has a house that they want this way. You're looking at a whole host of different people coming into this process and requiring what they need to learn from it.
And it's definitely a process. So after we go through a series of meetings where we spend a lot of time just listening, but then we develop multiple designs. So for this space, before we came up with the final design, which we're showcasing today, we came up with alternatives to then get feedback from that team as to what elements work, what elements don't, and then that refines itself into a design where when you're working on a private residence, it's much more personal taste and style, and you get a little bit more design freedom. In this, it's much more of design challenge and problem solving.
And although you never really took classes on therapy and stuff in your landscape design process, you really have stepped up and learned yourself on what it takes to make these kind of designs.
Yeah, so in school, at least when I was in school, no one was teaching horticultural
Right,
therapy
yeah.
garden design. But as a landscape architect, we learn about garden design and problem solving. And in my education, to become a person who I feel can design a therapy garden, it was really talking to people who work in the field of patient care, and learning from them. So my very first project was working on the Portland Memory Garden, which is garden designed to meet the needs of people with dementia, with
Right.
Alzheimer's. And that, is a very intense problem to solve, is how do you take people who have cognitive issues and bring them out safely into a garden. So
Right.
that was really kind of learning by fire. But that memory garden has been built now for over 10 years and been very successful. So we've built on that through all the gardens we've designed at Legacy Health System,
Right.
Culminating in this garden at PCC, which is really this learning lab garden.
Well, thank you so much for your expertise on this. I find the whole process fascinating, and we are so honored to be a part of the learning gardens and how they're expanding in our world. We love doing that for you here at Garden Time, and we also wanted to remind you that with every new process, there's always some cost to that. So for more information on what you can do to help, not only financially, but also just to come out and visit this place and watch its growth over the next couple of years, we invite you to go to gardentime.tv. We will click you over to the school's website. You can find Melissa and get all the information you need to celebrate the healing part of nature. Thank you so much,
Great,
Brian.
thank you.